King's ceremony today, where he will officially receive a certificate of recognition from government. What better way to begin this hour, as we were just showing you the various leaders of AmaZulu through the decades. And today, King MisuZulu KaZwelithini is expected to leave his hotel for the Moses Mabhida Stadium at around 10 o'clock to make his way to that ceremony, where he will receive that certificate. Newzroom Afrika bringing you visuals of his convoy as it makes its way to the stadium, and we're hopefully going to be able to catch the first glimpse of the King's regalia before he emerges, as thousands of people await his arrival at Moses Mabhida Stadium. You're looking now at live shots of members of cabinet, the Cooperative Governance Minister Ngcobo Zuma and Police Minister Dignitaries, who are part of the team that's been putting all of this together. Let's go to Ziyanda Ngcobo now, our reporter stationed right where we're waiting, Ziyanda, to see the first glimpse of the King on this momentous occasion.
That's right, Tembekile, and I'm standing right in front of the vehicle that will be ferrying His Majesty King MisuZulu KaZwelithini to the Moses Mabhida Stadium, where the tens of thousands of delegates and, dignitaries will be waiting for his arrival. And you've mentioned then what the King will be wearing. Why is this important? Because 50 odd years ago, when King Zwelithini Zulu was being coronated, he was not able to wear his full Zulu regalia because of the fact that he was being controlled by the white minority governments at the time. And so the expectation and the reason why we're also here to get the first glimpse of the King, Tembekile, is because we want to see what the King will be wearing as the custodian then of the AmaZulu heritage, culture and traditions. And as you see us walking, we're here through the venue, it's because we're taking you to the other side of where the King's convoy will be departing from at this particular venue where we're at. There are some vehicles that are marked saying that they are ready to take King MisuZulu KaZwelithini. So we're going to walk down the stairs. There's some security personnel. They will be leading that convoy, the scout vehicles, eThekwini Metro Police, and we're taking you to those cars that are written King MisuZulu, those Range Rovers resembling those then that he will be in as well. We're expecting to see the King at around 10 o'clock, just before actually for the start of that convoy bound for the Moses Mabhida Stadium. And we know, Tembekile, that unlike in 1971 as well, where King Sobhuza II was unable to attend King Zwelithini Zulu's coronation, King Mswati III will be there today. He will also be offering a message of congratulations to his sister's child and his nephew, that being King MisuZulu KaZwelithini, who of course then is now the monarch of the AmaZulu nation. He is going to be there, and it's going to be the first time that we see King Mswati attending any of the events that have been held then by the AmaZulu nation. And it will be a significant moment, given just the process and the journey that King MisuZulu has traversed, insofar as him, losing his father who passed away, and just some odd 3 weeks later then his mother, Queen Shiwe Mantfombi Dlamini Zulu, also passing away, setting the tone for the start of that battle for the throne that we've seen taking place over the last year or so. So it's a full circle moment for King MisuZulu KaZwelithini today, where not only did he have his own coronation at the Wakhangela Mankengane Royal Palace, but also insofar as the government is concerned, he is the rightful heir to the throne, and there is a king of the AmaZulu nation.
Ziyanda, you referenced the attendance today of the King's uncle, another king, a monarch from Eswatini, King Mswati III, brother to his late mother. And it was in Eswatini where, when we began to see the ructions, the divisions in the royal family, that King MisuZulu actually, for a moment, had to go find refuge.
Absolutely. For the longest time, in fact, there has been a lot of support and refuge that has been given to King MisuZulu KaZwelithini by his uncle, King Mswati III. Even on that night when his mother's will was being read out, which named him as the rightful heir to the throne, it's understood that on that very night where guns were drawn and it seemed as though everybody would be placed in a precarious position where the then Prince MisuZulu's life was under threat, it seemed that he had crossed the border actually over Pongola into Eswatini for refuge. Now, these are unconfirmed reports, but it would seem that the Eswatini royal household has been a full support of the king. Even at the funeral of Queen Shiwe Mantfombi Dlamini Zulu, the Eswatini kingdom actually sent a huge delegation for her funeral, because it was at that time where already the tensions within the family had become quite palpable. And so, Tembekile, even if you track then the coronation of King Zwelithini Zulu, he was also a delegation from Eswatini led by Prince Makhosini Ngwane, was sent to the coronation in KwaNongoma of King Zwelithini Zulu. So it's a long-standing affair. Even the fact that Queen Mantfombi was lobolad by the AmaZulu nation and her ultimately becoming the great wife was something that was orchestrated and architected by the royal family. So you see those vehicles are pulling up at the hotel where King MisuZulu KaZwelithini is staying. I can presume that the king is now getting dressed. What he'll be wearing will be important for the AmaZulu nation to send a message of who we are, and all these vehicles you can see will be part of that particular convoy, and we'll be bringing you those live visuals. There's Ngcobo Mabhida, he's the aide of the king. Maybe we'll just steal him. You're live on Newzroom Afrika. A big day. I'm very good, Ngcobo. We see all these cars. Finally, everything's come together.
Kuyasondela sis. Khambani.
Indaba ke yokuthi isilo sobe siqokene kubalekile kwabantu kwaZulu, ngoba siyazi ukuthi umdlokombane omdala yena wayeqoka isuti ngenxa yokuthi ke abe apartheid babetha akakwazi ukuvunula njengoba uvunulile namhlanje. Isilo namhlanje mhlawumbe ungasihlebela ukuthi sizobe siqokene.
Cha, ingonyama izobe ivunule nje ifana nesizwe sayo. Kubalulekile ukuthi ifane nesizwe sayo. Umsebenzi omkhulu namhlanje uyoba umuhle nje njengoba sivunule nje sobe sifana nengonyama yethu.
All right, Siyaboga. Let's let Mthokozi Mahlobo go. He's basically saying that we can expect the king to be dressed the same way that he's dressed, the same way that the people of the AmaZulu nation dress, in leopard skin. It's a signifier of royalty in Zulu culture, as you'll know if you remember with the Ugungenesbayeni ceremony that the king had to hunt a lion as a show of bravery. We were told this took place at a reserve in Hluhluwe. So now, we've already gotten the first glimpse, I suppose, even though we haven't quite seen it, but we clearly know that the king will be dressed like his people, and it will be the first time that a black president then presides over the coronation of an AmaZulu king in a democracy, in a constitutional democracy. And this is a significant moment both ways, for the AmaZulu king, but also for President Cyril Ramaphosa in many ways, when handing over that certificate of recognition. Tembekile.
Thank you. Let's pause it there for now. Perhaps we can go back to those pictures of that lobby where other dignitaries have just been arriving in the last while. I've been able to spot the Justice Minister, Ronald Lamola, in the last while. Bridget Khatebe, the businesswoman who's also sister-in-law to President Ramaphosa, also among those who've arrived. Botswana's former president, Ian Khama, among those attending as well. We will bring you more of this continuing coverage. You're looking now at that row of vehicles, SUVs, ferrying many people who would have landed at airports in the last 12 hours to attend the first AmaZulu king's coronation since 1971, when King Zwelithini, the father of King MisuZulu, was installed by what was then an apartheid government. Our continuing coverage after this.